The role of media in modern politics. Level B2. Upper Intermediate. Information, power, and public opinion. In the modern world, politics and media are deeply connected, perhaps more than ever before in history. Whether you scroll through social media, read online news, or watch television, the information you consume shapes how you think about leaders, governments, and society. Media doesn't just report politics. It actively influences it, from print to digital power. Before the internet, political communication depended mostly on newspapers, radio, and television. In those days, journalists acted as gatekeepers. They decided what information was worth publishing and what the public needed to know. Political debates happened on paper pages and in scheduled TV broadcasts. But the rise of the internet completely changed this relationship. Suddenly, anyone could post news, share opinions, and reach thousands or even millions of people instantly. The world moved from a few official sources to an almost endless flow of information. This democratization of communication gave citizens more voices, but it also made it harder to separate truth from manipulation. The power of framing and agenda setting. Media doesn't tell people what to think, but it strongly affects what they think about. This idea is known as agenda setting, the process by which news organizations decide which stories to highlight and which to ignore. If every TV channel talks about unemployment, people will start seeing it as the country's biggest issue. Another powerful tool is framing how a story is presented. For example, a protest can be described as a fight for justice or as a violent riot. The facts might be the same, but the emotional impact is completely different. In this way, the media can shape public opinion without directly lying, simply by choosing words, images, and context carefully. Social media and the new political arena. In the 21st century, social media has transformed politics into something much more personal and immediate. Politicians no longer need journalists to speak to the public. They can communicate directly through platforms like X, Twitter, Instagram, or TikTok. This direct communication creates both transparency and chaos. On one hand, voters can follow political figures in real time, watch live speeches, and ask questions online. On the other hand, misinformation spreads just as fast as truth. A rumor or fake photo can reach millions before fact-checkers even notice it. Moreover, social media platforms use algorithms that show users the kind of content they already agree with. This creates echo chambers, digital spaces where people hear only opinions similar to their own. As a result, societies can become more divided, with groups seeing completely different versions of reality. Media as a political weapon. In modern campaigns, media is not only a tool for communication, it's a weapon for influence. Political parties and leaders invest huge sums of money in advertising, online promotion, and image management. During elections, millions of dollars are spent on creating emotional, visually appealing ads that focus less on facts and more on feelings. Some campaigns even use targeted data, analyzing people's online behavior to send them personalized political messages. This method, known as micro-targeting, allows politicians to speak to specific audiences in ways designed to manipulate emotions rather than inform. Governments also use media to control narratives. In some countries, state-run outlets promote official viewpoints while silencing criticism. In others, private media companies align with certain political groups, turning news into propaganda. This blurring of journalism and politics can make it difficult for citizens to know what's real and what's biased. The rise of citizen journalism. Not all the power is in the hands of traditional media or politicians. Thanks to smartphones and social platforms, citizen journalism, ordinary people reporting news, has become a major force. Videos recorded on the street can expose corruption, document protests, or reveal government abuses that official channels ignore. During social movements around the world, from the Arab Spring to modern environmental protests, ordinary citizens used media to organize, share information, and raise global awareness. In that sense, media has become a double-edged sword. It can empower people, but it can also be used to manipulate them. The emotional economy of news. Modern media operates in what some scholars call the attention economy. News outlets compete not for truth, but for clicks, views, and shares. The more emotional a story is, whether it makes you angry, shocked, or afraid, the more likely you are to engage with it. This system rewards sensationalism over depth. Instead of careful analysis, we often get dramatic headlines and simplified narratives. Political communication becomes a kind of entertainment, where image matters more than policy. As a result, many people feel both informed and confused at the same time, constantly consuming information, yet uncertain about what to believe. Truth, manipulation, and the future of information. Media and democracy. A complicated relationship. In democratic societies, the media is often described as the fourth estate. It's not part of the government, but it plays a crucial role in holding power accountable. Journalists investigate corruption, expose injustice, and question political leaders. Without free and independent media, democracy cannot truly function because citizens need accurate information to make informed decisions. However, this ideal doesn't always match reality. When media companies are owned by powerful corporations or controlled by political interests, they may avoid publishing stories that could harm their sponsors or allies. Instead of acting as a watchdog, the media sometimes becomes a guard dog for those in power. The balance between freedom and responsibility is delicate. Too much control, and the truth is hidden. Too little control, and falsehoods spread unchecked. Finding that balance is one of the biggest challenges of modern politics. Fake news and the war on truth. The phrase fake news has become a symbol of our era. It refers to false or misleading information presented as legitimate news, often spread through social media. Fake news can be used to discredit opponents, influence elections, or cause social panic. What makes it especially dangerous is how believable it often looks. Websites copy the design of real news outlets, and manipulated photos or videos make lies look like truth. Once a false story goes viral, correcting it becomes almost impossible. People tend to remember the first thing they saw, even if later proven wrong. During elections, misinformation can shift public opinion and even change results. Studies show that emotionally charged lies travel faster than boring facts. It's a frightening reminder that, in politics, truth competes for attention like any other product. Some countries have tried to fight this problem with laws against misinformation. Others rely on independent fact-checking organizations. But ultimately, the most effective weapon against fake news is media literacy. The ability of citizens to think critically, verify sources, and question what they read. Populism and the media cycle. Modern populist leaders, those who claim to represent the people against the elite, have learned how to use media to their advantage. They create emotional, simple messages that spread easily online. Instead of long, complex explanations, they use short slogans and dramatic gestures designed to go viral. In the age of 24-hour news and social media, every controversy becomes a form of advertising. Even negative coverage can boost popularity, as it keeps a politician constantly in the public eye. The saying, "There's no such thing as bad publicity," has never been more true. This creates what some analysts call the media populism cycle. Politicians make bold or shocking statements. The media amplifies them to get more views, and the public becomes even more polarized. Over time, this can weaken trust in traditional institutions and encourage emotional rather than rational politics. The role of journalism in the digital age. Despite all these challenges, journalism still matters. Investigative reporters continue to uncover major scandals, from financial crimes to political corruption, but the way they work has changed dramatically. Today, journalists must compete with influencers, bloggers, and AI-generated content. Many independent reporters work online, supported by subscriptions or donations instead of big media companies. This independence allows them to take risks and cover sensitive topics, but it also exposes them to harassment and pressure. At the same time, new technologies are helping journalists verify information. Tools for tracking image manipulation, analyzing data leaks, and tracing online misinformation are becoming essential in modern reporting. Still, the biggest challenge remains: how to keep journalism alive in a world where attention is money. Many people expect news to be free, but real reporting takes time, skill, and courage, and those things cost resources. The global media landscape. In some countries, media freedom is shrinking. Governments use surveillance, censorship, or disinformation campaigns to control what people can see or say. Journalists face intimidation, imprisonment, or worse for doing their job. Yet, even in restrictive environments, truth finds a way. Online networks, encrypted communication, and international partnerships allow information to escape censorship. Citizen reporters and whistleblowers, people who reveal hidden truths, have become modern heroes of democracy. In contrast, in countries with open media, the problem is not censorship, but overload. People are overwhelmed by endless information streams, making it difficult to tell what really matters. Ironically, freedom can lead to confusion if not paired with education and responsibility. The future: AI, deepfakes, and digital trust. Artificial intelligence is rapidly changing the media landscape. AI can already write articles, generate images, and even create realistic videos, where people appear to say things they never said, so-called deepfakes. These technologies can be used for creativity and efficiency, but they also raise serious ethical questions. How can voters trust what they see and hear when digital manipulation is so easy? How will journalists verify reality in a world where reality itself can be edited? To face these challenges, new systems of digital verification and ethical AI use are being developed. Watermarking, blockchain tracking, and advanced fact-checking algorithms may become standard tools to protect truth in the information age. But technology alone won't save democracy. The future depends on how people, citizens, journalists, and leaders choose to use it. The citizen's responsibility. In the end, the role of media in politics is not only about journalists or politicians, it's about us, the audience. We are not just passive consumers, we are part of the system. Every time we share a post, comment on a story, or believe a rumor, we influence the flow of information. Being a responsible citizen today means more than voting once every few years. It means questioning what we read, supporting honest journalism, and avoiding the temptation of easy outrage. As one famous editor once said, "The press doesn't shape democracy, it reflects the kind of democracy people want." If we want a future built on truth, fairness, and understanding, we must learn to use media wisely, not as a weapon, but as a bridge between people and ideas.